So at the end of every project, I like to kind of take a look at the entire project, organize things if they're out of place, or polish each page up a little bit from where I see there could be improvements. Not only is this good practice, but it also allows you to kind of get that eye for detail for your designs. We're going to go through this and see where we can make some small improvements in this lecture together. So in terms of the organization, I think we've done a pretty good job. Everything's sort of where we want it to be. Just to kind of keep things organized, I'm going to go ahead and bring these Apple assets to the right side over here alongside my components, just to kind of keep these together. Our color scheme typesets, everything looks great here. Our components are all organized over here. We have an extra logo here, so we're going to go ahead and delete that. And now we're going to work our way from the splash screen into all the way to the right. And then at the top, we're going to go for the profile page all the way to the right as well. So starting with the splash screen, I think things look great here. Our login page looks good. Let's just make sure that the spacing of everything's correct, and looks like things are pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and space out my forgot password a little bit, maybe 15 pixels from the field, and bring this button down a little bit as well, and make it 30 pixels from the forgot password. Over here, we're just going to go ahead and set the privacy policy to semi-bold, as well as our terms of service. There we go. Our phone verification looks pretty good. I'm going to just bring that down. Everything's aligned properly. We can go ahead and just double check that as well. Double check the aligning of everything here. So one thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this menu button and place it in my other navigation bars as well. So from here, they'll be able to also access the menu. This page looks good to me. In terms of our menu page, the only thing I want to do is just space things out a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and just space things out to 25 pixels over here. We're going to go ahead and just select the entire stack over here and change this spacing to 25 from here. Same thing for my desserts stack. I'm going to do 25 instead of 15. And the reason for that is we want more breathing room. We want more white space. We don't want things to be way too crammed in here. Let's go ahead and stretch that menu page a little bit more so it fits everything nicely. And let's go ahead and change the number of orders for this item to 1. And same thing over here. We forgot to do that in the previous lecture, so we'll just do it here. And double check the spacing of everything, and same thing over here. I'm going to go ahead and bring this down a little bit. So it's 25 pixels in the spacing. This looks pretty good to me. Our order progress page looks good as well. Maybe I'll just bring these down a little bit more. It's a little bit more spaced out. And I think everything else looks good. We're going to come back and add a little animation in here later on. This looks good. And at the top over here, instead of having first and last here, we're just going to go ahead and input a random name. So we're just going to first left align it and write John Doe. And for the profile icon here, I'm going to use that plugin that I installed earlier on called User Profile. If you don't have it, take a pause here to install that plugin. But that allows us to insert some random photo in here. And we can go ahead and even select the gender. Then we can go ahead and select the ellipse here and click on Insert Random Photo. And if you don't like the photo, you can totally go ahead and keep pressing until you have a photo you like to use. The plugin here will generate as many photos as you'd like. I'll leave it just as that. And then I think our button here looks good. Everything else looks good on this page. Our payment page looks good. Our address page also looks good. And our past orders page looks good as well. Everything else looks good over here. And I think that's pretty good for our project here. It's pretty polished up and pretty nice. I don't think there's anything else we need to add at this point. Now we're going to come back in the next lecture to talk about responsive resize, which allow your design to be responsive to different device sizes. We're going to do that together in the next lecture.